Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see, I'm delving into some new territory here with this game I'm going to show off today. This is a strategy game that's put out by Decision Games, and as you can see, it's Vikings Scourge of the North. It's a solitaire, so a single player game that's I guess, kind of like a combat scenario. Haven't gotten any deeper into that. I'm actually opening up the package right now for you to see what the contents are as I do as well. So I wanted to find something on the channel to show off a war game because that's not something that I've really focused on. And considering that wargaming is really the uh, the predecessor of RPGs, it's something that I wanted to get into. So here's the package. It comes in a fairly small envelope here. This particular one is solitaire, but there are other versions that are multiple player. So I wanted to take a look at the solitaire ones. It was $14 and change, almost $15, plus $2 and change shipping and handling. The postage itself was $1.45. So overall, it came out to just slightly over $17. So this is the test game for it. I'll see whether or not it is something that I can get into. I'm hoping I can. So I am just doing a little opening here, and let me go to my desktop so you can see as I am removing the contents. So here we go. It's a little booklet and Ziploc. That's kind of cool. I'm happy with that, and we shall see. It's in that Ziploc pretty darn tight. Man, it's like they built it around the Ziploc. There we go. So let's see if you can get a closer look. So this is just a outer sheet that tells you what the game contents are. So in the packet here, and here we have the map. Here's the pieces. So here are the cardboard pieces for it, and I'm familiar, completely with the game. You are seeing, so they give you an extra plastic baggie to put those in. There's a deck of cards here for use. We'll take a look at these. So we have here objectives: 2 settlements, at least 1 must be in Groenland or Vinland. Quest number 1, success: place 1 settlement within 2 spaces of the homeland not containing a quest. So the ship is a 7 and the other value is an 8. This here is an 8 and a 10. Pillage 3 towns or fortresses. Gain 1 die roll of gold at start of the setup. So just a number of cards, quite a few cards here. Keep this card. Play during the combat to automatically gain battlefield advantage instead of rolling for it, or break off after a combat round and retreat to an adjacent space. Discard when used. So that's a voyage card. There's several saga and voyage cards. And I guess once I get into reading the rules, I'll know how they work, but looks pretty cool. So I'll set that aside. Let's see. So here are the instructions, and I will come out a little bit for this. Here are the instructions, and it goes over the components. So there's the introduction, the map, and I will show the map off in a minute here. The map, the playing pieces, the cards, how to win, how to set up for the game, the saga cards, the laid down gold and recruiting, how to play the game, voyages, movement, voyage cards, hostile units, combat, post-battle, the Ida, quests, jarls, which are leaders, pillages and settlements, special units, appeal to the High King, old or new religion, campaign gain, optional rules, supplies, and scouting. And so we go through, and you can see there's quite a bit of detail here. Total number of pages for the rules is 8 pages of rules. This is the front cover of the pamphlet. So let's take a good look at the map here. I'll set that aside, and I will open up this map. So here's the map, and you can see it's quite a decent size map. Actually, let me switch views really quick here. That's a full screen capture. I don't know if I want that. No. I mean, you can see it's a nice size map. Let me see how I angle this and come on over here. So it's a decent sized map, and I will switch back over here so we can see the different elements here of the map here. So we have gold going from 0 to 19. You have the units and the unit cost. So you purchase your units with the amount of gold that you're potentially starting with. Here's the terrain key. Here's the terrain effects charts on the movement effect, the who wins the battle superiority ties. So in a town, Vikings would win the battle seniority ties. A fortress, the hostiles win. A port or coastal, Vikings win. A trade center, other terrain. Warrior kingdom, other terrain. Sea space, Vikings, are have the tiebreaker basically, and the land space, Vikings. The combat effect. So in a fortress, the movement effect is a stop. The hostiles win. Hostiles pick 1 additional unit for battle. So that's their combat effect. For the trade center, Vikings gain 1 additional die roll of gold for pillaging. Count as 2 gold for trade if the settlement is present. and the one here for Warrior Kingdom, other terrain for combat, pick one additional hostile unit. See also Varangians. And so here we have the different locales in which your Viking forces can then spread out and move along. And so these yellow are homelands. The purple is land spaces. Fortresses are basically Paris. And this one is Smolensk. This one is Kiev. Miklagard. Then inland towns. And so we have all of these inland towns are the blue squares. And coastal towns are obviously blue squares along the coast. So these are green, so we can see that's a green. My color blindness a little slightly affecting there. Jarls. So the Jarls that you can purchase are Eric, Leif, Harold, and Rurik. And each one has bonuses to their capabilities. Nothing on the back. So Vikings. So Europe in the last centuries of the Dark Ages were beset by Scandinavian raiders. Their longships sailed the high seas, reaching lands as far as Volga and North America, while mainly known for their pillaging. The Vikings were also explorers, traders, and colonists. This is a solitaire game. You lead a band of warriors with your ships and weapons. Units represent historical Viking leaders such as Leif Erikson and Harald Hardrada. You can recruit elite Huskarls and fanatic berserkers and build more longships. You are in pursuit of gold, glory, and the new lands to settle on a map running from Russia to Vinland, from Scandinavia to the fabled lands of the Byzantine Empire. Saga cards send you on 4 different voyages of discovery and quest fulfillment. Voyage cards bring a special action such as forming a shield wall in combat and ending the game with a Viking funeral. All right, and so the game contents is an 11 by 17 inch map, 40 die cut counters, 18 campaign cards, and 8-page rule booklet. So once I've learned, quite a bit about the game and done a few tests of it, I will actually run a full scenario of it for your viewing pleasure. And like I said, a nice little package here. $17 overall for the cost, so I'm quite happy with that. And I'm looking forward to giving this game a good try. And there were quite a few in the catalog that you can purchase. So this is something that you can look up on under decisiongames.com. And there were many solitaire scenarios, and then literally a dozen or more other scenarios as well, which would be multiplayer. So once again, thanks for joining. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Leave your comments. If you ever tried one of these games, please feel free to leave a comment. I'd like to hear what more experienced players, have to say about this game system. And I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. You all have a great afternoon.